Avatar 2 Day, guys. It's Avatar 2. Welcome to Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, it is Avatar The Way of Water Day, guys. Are you going to go see Avatar 2 The Way of Water? We'll be talking about it for sure. And guys, if you don't know, this is a live news show. For movie fans about entertainment headlines. We talk about all the big trending movie news headlines like Twister 2, Henry Cavill, he's moving on to Warhammer. Cool, man. Aquaman 2 budget. James Gunn is back in the headlines. And of course, everybody's going to be talking about Avatar. But we're going to actually start off today's show by talking about something that I saw on the Avatar movie yesterday when I went to see it. Was the Barbie teaser. Yes, Barbie movie will feature Barbie dream houses, reveals Margot Robbie. In fact, yeah, if you went out, it was kind of weird. I'm somebody who's very caught up with all the movie trailers out there, and I was surprised that last night after I came back from Avatar, that the teaser was not online. It's not as if it was anything too spoilerish or anything. We knew that Ryan Gosling was Ken in this, and as a teaser, it worked fine. The dream houses, you'll see some dream houses, and it will be everything you ever dreamed of. Well, it just so happened just a few moments ago, about 10 minutes ago, not even that probably, they finally released the Barbie teaser online. Out of all the trailers online, all the trailers from Avatar, I didn't see the IMAX, so I didn't see the Oppenheimer footage, and I didn't see the Mission Impossible footage on the IMAX. I saw it in the 3D high frame rate, but yeah, the Barbie trailer was on there. It actually was the first thing that was on there, and it kind of starts off kind of like from 2001, right? Space Odyssey, where it's kind of like in the beginning, there were dolls, and all the girls played with dolls. I don't know if I don't know if I really want to do a trailer reaction to it. I may post one just out of schlocky fun, but then they're like, all the dolls look different. And then all of a sudden, you just see like these plastic legs in the middle. And it's supposed to like represent the monolith. It's directed by Greta Gerwig. Great cast. Margot Robbie is our Barbie. And once I saw that, I was like, yes, I like Margot Robbie. I mean, come on, I'm still, I'm not over the hill just yet. I still got some blood running through these veins, of course. I think she's the highlight of this. I think she's going to nail it as Barbie. She's just got that smile. You know that she can bring it as an actress. So then the other kids throw away their dolls and they want the Barbie. As a teaser, that's the first minute of the teaser. And then they throw the baby into space, so very 2001-ish. Then it's like Barbie. Okay, fine. Now, I think it did end with a montage of them in their little Barbie land. So that'll be kind of cool. Now, from what we knew of the premise, guys, it's got multiple Barbies, it's got multiple Kens, and it shows them doing a couple of dance numbers here. There's Ryan Gosling. So this is all just kind of quick montagey stuff. There's Simu Liu. He's going to be a Ken. He's Shang-Chi, if you don't know, from the MCU. And I'm looking forward to this. I hear good things. Like, the script is supposed to be amazing. They're going to poke fun at it. And you can tell that they're going to poke fun at it because of the way that they unveiled this trailer. It's appealing to movie fans, I guess it's sort of. So it's going to have probably a lot of Easter eggs and nods toward other projects, right? July 21st, guys, next year. As a teaser, Margot Robbie as Barbie. It worked for me. Out of the many things out of my Avatar 2 screening, it was a good way to start off with this image. I was kind of like, Barbie. Yeah. Oddly enough, somebody in their 40s, a 40-year-old man, is going to be interested in wanting to go see a Barbie movie. Ollie, wow, I can't believe it. Yes, mostly because of Margot Robbie. It is what it is. Let's see what people are saying in the comments, and hopefully it's not too salacious. Let's take a look. Never thought I'd be excited for a Barbie movie. Stoked to see Greta Gerwig's vision. Yeah. If you told me years ago that I'd be legitimately interested in seeing a Barbie movie, I'd have laughed in your face. And yet, here we are. Yep, me too, man. Here we are. Barbie teaser. It was good. It played well in the theater, guys. It really did. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, Margot Robbie. Margot looks good in everything she's in, yeah. I'm sure they are probably not being too kind down here. I'm a guy, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm really excited to see this. It looks visually stunning, and Margot Robbie is good enough reason to watch. Always, always, she is. Except for maybe in that Babylon movie that's coming out that nobody wants to see. I love that all the buildings are just Barbie doll houses, all open up and everything. They didn't have to do that, but they did. Yeah. So the reception to it, to the Barbie teaser, was pretty good, guys. And go check it out. You'll have fun with it. You'll have a nice little laugh with it. Barbie comes out next year, guys. And yeah, cool. I dug it. Did you guys see it on your copies of Avatar: The Way of Water? It's the Avatar Way of Water Day, guys. All right. So if you don't know how this works, we're a live news show. We do live streaming every day, guys. 11 a.m. We talk about all the movie news headlines. You can follow me there on all the social medias. I'm slowly, guys, we'll talk about this coming up because there's some Twitter follow today that's slowly starting to... I might have to change one of these bars. I might actually change that bird to a Twitch symbol. Hey. And start streaming some chess on Twitch a little bit more often. Yeah, that's what we can do. We'll talk about that because there's some controversy around that platform right now. And it's just kind of like, we do the Twitter Roundup, and we're gonna try something called the Reddit Roundup instead today to see what's going on. But it is Avatar 2 Day, guys, and it did actually fairly well on the Thursday night screenings. I think it pulled in 15 million, which is very, very good. I think like the highest was 18 million or something for Thursday night previews. Guys, I projected Avatar: The Way of Water. I think it's going to make 170 million. I honestly do. China box office, Avatar 2 headed for 120 million opening. Splash. No, it's going to be huge. Like domestically, I'm saying 170. I think it's going to make 170 domestically, and it's well warranted, for sure. Now, guys, this comes with a little bit of a caveat here. We got to take a little bit of a time out, a breather here, because if you watch this channel for a while now, you kind of knew that I was not anticipating putting on the 3D glasses. I didn't want to do that. I did. I saw it in the high frame rate. I wasn't a fan of it being 3 hours. I knew that the visuals were going to be good, and I was kind of like, meh, but it won me over. It won me over. And because I'm able to have those prejudices against the 3 hour runtime and the putting on the glasses, but I'm able to look past that and look at what is being presented to me on the screen. So while people thought maybe I would hate the movie, no, I came out and I got that shine to me. I got that, holy crap, I can't believe what I just saw kind of thing, feeling to it. And we'll be talking about spoilers later on today. There'll be another stream today. We'll be breaking down spoilers for Avatar. But I recommend you go out and see it, guys, in the theater because it's an experience for sure. It's the best visual effects that I've seen in a long time. It's going to win all the technical awards this year for sure, hands down. All right, and it's proving that at the box office right now, for sure. It's proving it at the box office. And I do think that it's going to have a huge opening because it's going to have China numbers in there. And we'll take a look at the box office mojo here in just a minute. But yeah, as of 2 p.m. local Friday time, the film had earned 15.2 million. So yeah, that's good for Thursday night previews. Now, oddly enough, in my theater, because it was snowing here, it was like raining, it was freezing rain here with snow and the roads were terrible. So maybe that's why people, it wasn't a packed theater, but I saw it early on Thursday night. So maybe that's why my theater wasn't full. The current forecast for Avatar 2 is to finish the weekend with a haul of 119 to 128. Well, that's a little bit lower. I thought they were projecting around 150. Derpy501 in the live chat says, "Hey man, saw it last night." Well, good. I hope you enjoyed it, man. Derpy, did you see that Barbie teaser on your copy? Did you like that? Let me know in the comments. So yeah. And so Hollywood Reporter is actually saying that the projections now are a little bit lower than they thought. 119, 128. But no, once all the people that made up this 15.2 million, and today, most people will go see it today, it's going to rise. And you'll say, well, the first Avatar didn't have a big opening weekend and it had some longevity. Well, this is going to be the same thing because there's nothing else coming out in the theaters right now that are going to even rival this. And it's just one of those movies where, while the story was a little bit thin in parts, okay, I'll give you that. You're just going to want to go back and see it because of the world, of the immersion, because of you like to see that place. You like to be there, in that place. But box office numbers wise, guys, this was last week's numbers. There's nothing else big new coming out right now. The Whale comes out on the 21st. Babylon is on the 22nd, I think it is, right? 23rd? Somewhere around there. But Babylon, nobody's going to go see that movie. So Avatar is going to have free running here for the next month. All the big movies are out now, guys. All the big movies in the theaters. Like, this will be the last big movie of the year in the theater. Because all the other smaller ones are just kind of like art house films, things that we need to catch up on as movie fans. So Avatar is going to be number one for the longest time now, and it's going to hold on to number one, and it's going to make easily 100. They say 128 million is their high end. I still think it's going to make 170, but it's going to have that staying power. Avatar is going to have a staying power with it that's going to be kind of like, people are just going to be talking about it, like the first movie, for sure. They'll be like, can you believe that you are actually enamored by a whale? And you're like, yeah. Wow. And it's just beautifully done. It's seamless. It feels so real that you can just go out and touch it. Avatar, The Way of Water. Okay, so yesterday we saw it was 80% by the critics. So that's gone up with the audience score, over 1,000 now. 95% by the audience, and it's going to stay high. Because as I said, it's like coming off a roller coaster when you come out of it. It's going to be like that adrenaline in you is just still going to be going in. It's going to be buzzing. And by the way, you don't have to stay for a post-credit scene for Avatar. I should have said that in my normal review, because I posted my normal review yesterday. I had to get online and post my spoiler-free review for that yesterday and talk about all the things that I still had in my head, for sure. Guys, you're going to have lots of fun with Avatar. James Cameron, don't doubt James Cameron. Now, is it as good of a sequel as, say, T2? No, absolutely not. Does it compare to Aliens, like on that scope of a sequel that made you go, ha ha ha? No, because I'll tell you, the visuals alone are the strong point of Avatar. The visuals. Everybody will be talking about the visuals, and as I said about the story, well, we'll talk about that in our spoiler sections, guys. When we get to that, we'll be talking about elements of the story that worked and didn't work for me. The only thing that I would tell you that I can tell you now, that's not really a spoiler, but it does pertain to the story. It's yes, he did it twice. You know, Avatar, he blew our minds with the visual effects, but we know that Avatar 3 is all shot now. It's all in the can. And they're working on Avatar 4 now. And I want to see Avatar 3 and 4. I do. So that's good. But while he's wowed me with the visual effects, eventually, it's kind of like the first person that invented the hot dog. Wow, what is that? I like that. And then, you know, it becomes the standard, right? Oh, that's a standard hot dog. And then we try other different types of recipes. So eventually this will become the standard of the way that 3D films should look. This will become the standard. And when it becomes the standard and you go back and you look at the story, and you'd be like, well, the story's not really something that I really want to go back to visit to. But for now, because it's still new to us, we haven't seen stuff like this before of this magnitude, like the skin textures in this. Yes, I believe that those Na'vi were there. I said that in my normal review. So, guys, go check it out. If you had doubts about the 3D, it holds up. It's fine. I still don't like to have like these dark glasses on my face. I was going like this a couple times in the theater just to see what the difference was. The high frame rate does help the 3D. It does. And I said it last night too, that if you play video games on like a console of some kind and you play it at the 60 frame rates per second, or even like PC games at the 60 frame rate per second or higher even, you play it at those, you're going to have no problem with Avatar. You won't. I guess the only other negative thing about it is because it's 3D, and because I was watching it, I was looking for this on the technical side. 3D, guys, as I said many times before, when you put these on, you are focused in on one point on the screen so that the 3D becomes immersive. So that when you want to try to stop and look back at it like you would on top of a mountain or something, if you go up to a mountain range and you want to look out at all the scenery and pan around like this, and you can focus in on one spot. No, they blur certain parts of the screen so that it comes out a little bit more for you guys in the 3D process. You can't, like, it loses a little bit of that. Now, I haven't seen it in 2D yet, so maybe it still holds up in that way. But for sure, Chris Schober says, is there a credit scene for Avatar: The Way of Water? No, there isn't. There's not. If you want, you can go and still listen to a very lackluster song by The Weeknd. God. Okay, so yeah, guys, I told you this. The weakest part of this film is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is kind of like, it's serviceable, but it's not like Titanic soundtrack. It's not going to make you go like, there's not, and it's definitely, The Weeknd song is definitely not like the Celine Dion song. It's not. They play it at the end, and it's kind of like, well, I've just been sitting here for 3.5 hours. I need to go use the can, and then I'll come back and see if there's any post-credit scene. There wasn't, unless there's another copy out there that has one. I didn't stay for it, so yeah, like at the very, very, very end. I was told that there's not. So yeah, The Weeknd. Who cares about that? It was kind of like, meh. It is what it is. Avatar, guys. The Way of Water. Go out and see it if you can. That's as much as I can do for my promotions to it. I still don't know the names of the kids, though. I still don't know the names of the kids. I have to look it up because you follow the kids a lot in this, right? Stephen Lang was really good as the bad guy again. He definitely was, and it was cool that the way that they worked him in. Kate Winslet and Cliff Curtis were like the leaders of the Water Tribe. They were good, but as far as the kids, like Took, Syria, Loak, was it Natiyam? They say their names a fair bit, I would imagine, in the movie, but it just kind of like, because of we're just not familiar with those types of names. I just refer to them as the older son and the younger son, older daughter, younger daughter. That's the way that and you're fine with that. But you can tell that they're going to be the main characters moving forward in the franchise. I think because they're going to be the main backbone of it all. And Spider, the human child, I liked him. They used him good. It wasn't cringy or anything. This Jack Champion plays Spider. And once you figure out exactly what's going on with that, could he be Superman? How old is this guy? Could he be a Superman? Huh. Why am I just getting that idea now? It's possible. But yeah, they use him properly. They use the human son properly. And I can understand why they didn't show him too much in the trailers. It's not as if he's got any... Well, actually, I don't want to spoil anything in here. But yeah, they used him well. Avatar 2, guys, The Way of Water. It's worthwhile going to see for sure. And I'm sure there's things that I missed. It does have repeat values in watching it. So that's how it's going to make more money, right? I'll probably go see it again. I want to see it in 2D to see if it... holds that same kind of magic. But I would recommend tolerating the 3D if you can. Tolerate the high frame rate. Maybe even the IMAX if you can. It was worthwhile for sure. For me, yeah. Yeah, as you can see, I don't like wearing these goddamn things, for fuck's sake. Whoop! I just swore. Sort of. You didn't hear that, did you? Chris Schober says, I'm really excited for Titanic Remastered 25th Anniversary, releasing February 10th, 2023. Okay. I like Titanic. I did. Guys, great cast. Let's just throw some shade here. Why not? Seeing Sam Worthington here. Yeah, guys, there's a reason why he's not a big star. And it's quite apparent in this movie too. Avatar. He's not a leading man. He's not the big draw. He's not. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the spoiler review. That'll come out later today. Probably sometime around 6 p.m. today. We'll do some spoilers. A spoiler discussion. Because everybody's got to get it out today. It's not as if I got to be like the first in line or anything like that. But what Avatar 2's Na'vi actors look like in real life. Okay, so this will be pertinent. Let's take a look at this. The daughter here, the older daughter, played by Sigourney Weaver. Fantastic. Easily my favorite character. Easily. Because she's got like a spiritual connection to like the planet, which is sort of harkening back to my people and stuff, kind of like thing. So I am on board with that. So let's take a look. Let's see what this article up on Screen Rant has. Sam Worthington as Jake Sully. Yeah, we'll be. I need to keep this pulled up. I need to keep this pulled up so then when I make my points about his portrayal, yeah. I'm sure that he had the shoulders of James Cameron and his direction to lean on to pull out this performance. Nothing groundbreaking from him. Zoe Saldana Neytiri, sadly, she gets pushed to the background here. And that sucks, actually, when I think about it. But I'm spoiling. I shouldn't. But yeah. Sigourney Weaver as the kid is great. Kiri, okay. Yeah, that was great. Good performance. Great. I dug that. Stephen Lang was also very good. The way that they brought that, the way they explained it was really cool, and I dug that. Cliff Curtis was good as the I didn't Tonowari. I just call him the chief guy, right? The leader of the Ocean tribe. Kate Winslet was Ronald, the wife of the leader there. She's got some good scenes. She does. Jamie Flatters as Natium, the older son. Okay. All right. Britton Dalton as Loak, the younger son. Okay. He did a good job too. He's another standout. Loak. Yeah. Bailey Bass is Rhea. So see, even that, they don't even call her by the full name that they use in the script. They just call her Rhea. Yeah, she did good. And then the tiniest daughter, Took. She doesn't really have too much to do. She doesn't do too much. Okay, so those are just people from the Water Tribe. Okay, Moat. All right. Well, guys, go out and enjoy Avatar. Just have fun with it. You don't have to be as critical as I am about looking at the story structure and stuff like that, looking at the technical aspects. Just have fun, get immersed into it, because that's exactly what James Cameron is delivering here. He does deliver it for sure. Is it going to end up on my top 10 of the year films? Yeah, it will, because out of the movies that came out this year, it's kind of like one of those things. Well, you got to see it because of the technical achievements in this. You got to see it. Is it going to be one of my favorite films? Like, what are my top 10 right now? My top 5. Batman. Right now, if I were to tell you to see the Batman, like if you've never seen the Batman or you've never seen Avatar: The Way of Water, I would still tell you to see the Batman before Avatar. That's where I am. Because the Batman is still my number one, just because there are scenes in it that just make you go, wow. And it's not all visuals. It's acting scenes, like between Robert Pattinson and Andy Serkis in the hospital, that make you go, holy crap, that's good acting. And that's not an action scene. You don't really get that in Avatar: The Way of Water. You don't get scenes like that make you go, holy crap. Or things like in, what's another good one here that I just saw? Glass Onion. There's a couple of revelations in that's just of acting too. It's just like, holy crap. That puts a huge smile on my face, and you just stays with you for days after. Avatar: The Way of Water doesn't have anything like that. It doesn't. It tries to. It sets the table up for things to have payoffs like that. But like Avatar will probably be in the lower top 10 of my top 10 list. It'll be in the lower part because I would still say go see Glass Onion over this because of the story, and it's just so much fun. Well, this is fun too. But story-wise, it is what it is. And we all hold our prejudices out there, right? There are going to be things that we like if you're into airplanes, and I'm sure that Top Gun Maverick is still going to be maybe ranking higher for you on your list of best movies of the year. For me, I know it's going to be weird for people to hear, but yes, I still think I prefer watching Predator Prey. It is what it is, right? But I do like Avatar. It's still good. It's going to be in contention to crack that top 5. I think it will. Elvis is still pretty good. There's just different aspects of these films out of the top 10 of my list that'll be there. That'll be kind of like, Well, yeah, Avatar's good for an achievement. For a well-rounded, cohesive film, Glass Onion still probably ranks a little bit higher because it's got the story there. It's got things in there that just make, like, story structure that makes you go, wow, wow. Yeah. Chris Schober says in the live chat, are you a Saw franchise fan? I heard they are bringing Tobin back for Saw 10 release date, October 27th. Yes, yes. We talked about that in length. In fact, here on the channel, Chris, we saw first images of Tobin on set. We cover a lot of the movie news here. We talk about all these things. So I'm glad that you found us. And right now, we're still small enough that if you join us in the live chat, I still can interact with you guys. And that's what I kind of like. I dig that. That's a lot of one of the plus sides about being a little bit of a smaller YouTube channel. Once people find this and see how quickly we move through these topics, we actually do talk about these things. So and we do talk about the trending stuff. So by all means, what else can you find here on the channel, guys? Well, let's talk about that now. Actually, let's get it out of the way. We do full series watch-alongs for things like The Peripheral. That's up on the channel right now. We're up to episode 6, and we're going to round up The Peripheral season probably on Sunday. We'll go through 7 and 8. We did full series reactions for Wednesday. Jenna Ortega knocked it out of the park, man. Later on today, guys, 1 p.m., we're watching Moonfall, full movie reviews and reactions. Moonfall is going to be on my list of, I need to catch up with it. A doomsday scenario. Can't wait for that movie. We watched Mortal Kombat the other day, guys. 2021, we watched that full movie. Not as bad as I remembered it. RR&R, we watch, foreign films on the channel as well. 3 hours. Talk about 3 hours movies. Now, compared to, RR&R, compared to Avatar, 3 hour movies, yeah, those are good quality 3 hour movies. Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, talking about stunning visuals. That's another one. If you like Avatar because of the visuals, Pinocchio has got great visuals. And talking about Saw franchise there, Chris, we do a Horror Weekly Roundup on the weekend where we talk about all the big horror movie news headlines that trend during the week. And of course, then we do movie news. And then later on today, we'll be doing a spoiler review for Avatar, The Way of Water. Indeed. Because there's lots to talk about. And I think I'll just leave that stream running for a long time. I'll just play some guitar, talk about how I feel about it, and we'll just welcome people into the live stream after they've had their experiences. Because people will be going to matinees and such today and stuff, seeing it. Go see Avatar, guys. Totally recommend it. It's going to be one of the better experiences in the theater this year, for sure. Indeed. Okay. Let's talk about Avatar 3, because we know, well, from the reports, they shot Avatar 2 and 3 back to back. So we don't have to wait a really long time. We don't have to wait another 13 years for Avatar 3, which is good, because I want to see what happens next. I do. Is it the Empire Strikes Back of the Avatar franchise? No, it's nothing that dire, nothing that like that. It's not Infinity War, right? It's not something that leaves you on like grasping for nails. It does kind of end actually on an oddly positive note, despite some bad things happening to some of the characters. But yeah, they've shot it back to back, so it's all in the can, guys. It's all going to be primarily about the kids moving forward, from what I understand, what they presented to us in Avatar 2. Yeah, and you will like it. You will like it. And you will like these two too. For some reason, they keep on calling everybody bro in this. Bro! Yeah, there's going to be a drinking game coming out for Avatar 2. Take a drink every time somebody says bro. We'll be talking about that in the spoiler reviews as well. Bro! I can't believe you did that. Bro! It's like, wow. How many times can you say it, man? I think that's James Cameron, though. He's just trying to relate to the younger generations, right? So Avatar 3 release date is 2024, right? December 20th, 2024. Yeah, every 2 years now we're going to get an Avatar film, because they're starting Avatar 4 production. They started it already. They're shooting it. They're shooting stuff for it. So that's good. That's really good. And man, it's so beautiful. Such a beautiful film. Yeah. So there you go. And as far as it bombing at the box office, nope, it's not going to do that. So the plan of stopping the franchise at Avatar 3, no. I don't think so. We're going to see a lot more Avatar. So that's full thumbs up. That's going forward for sure. Lots more Avatar. Lots more Avatar. All right, guys, we've got some James Gunn headlines. This is going to be something that we see in the for the next couple of weeks until we finally get the full slate released to us of the DC plans. Because James Gunn he's the headliner of DC now. But we'll start off with the Guardians of the Galaxy quote that he had, because he does respond to a lot of people on social medias. So James Gunn was asked if Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is good, is a hero or a villain? Because Will Poulter is playing him. And apparently, if you saw that trailer, and I saw that trailer on Avatar, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and I saw Ant-Man in 3D, and it was post-conversion 3D, and it looked terrible. It looked awful. Those films, they're going to try to rein in capitalizing on the 3D, because Avatar 2 is going to say to the studios that, oh, we got to make everything 3D again. We got to make it 3D. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was not shot in 3D. It wasn't. Avatar 2 was shot in 3D. It was shot specifically to be seen in 3D. But those trailers didn't look good in the post-conversion. They didn't. They looked way too cartoonish. It's like, here's my experience with the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer and the Ant-Man trailer on Avatar. You watch it and you're kind of like, wow, that's standard. That's what we're used to seeing, right? The backgrounds kind of look meh. You know that it's a CG background. There's no physicality to it. I don't actually believe that that's there. I don't believe it, because my brain just says, oh yeah, that's got to be in the computer. And you watch those trailers, it gets shrunken down when you watch Avatar, because then you watch Avatar and you're like, these movies are way behind in technology. Like it's laughable how bad this Ant-Man trailer looks now. After you see Avatar, it's like, this is shameful compared to what Avatar brings. Like, there's no physicality. You don't believe that it's there. And then you watch Avatar and it's there. Sorry, I'm ranting now. I'm going off course here. Bring it back to Guardians of the Galaxy and Adam Warlock. Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? I think he's eventually a good guy, right? But James Gunn's quote here about Adam Warlock won't be given a full-fledged villain arc. Okay, so he said that he's definitely not a good guy, right? I thought I highlighted it here. The writer-director says the Golden Gladiator is more of a traditional superhero compared to the raging crew of space adventurers he will encounter, although hero might be pushing it. Adam Warlock's encounter with the Guardians in Volume 3 will make for an interesting juxtaposition where we've been so far. Yeah, and even the Guardians trailer, it's dwarfed in visual effects. Like, Marvel has to step up their game now. And I hope they don't post-convert Guardians and Ant-Man into 3D, because they did it for the trailers and it looked terrible. It looked bad for the 3D conversion. So I hope they don't do that. Just let it be what it is. But you see what I mean here, right? Like, the backgrounds. Like, do you actually believe that you could, if you were there standing next to him, do you think that you could actually go for a walk down this platform all the way to the end? Like, do you feel like you could be there? You don't feel like that when you see something like that. You don't feel like you can touch that. Avatar, you can. You can. James Cameron is a master at weaving in the CG stuff with real, well, what we think is real stuff. It's just, wow. Because you can tell that they're just standing in front of the volume here, or they're standing in front of a green screen here. Like, wow. It's actually really shocking now to see that this is shameful. This is like MCU. You're behind the ball now. You are way behind the ball with visual effects, because James Cameron and Avatar have set the standard now going forward. This is how good it has to be. Stop blowing so much money on setting up these huge like trailer cities just to film a 3-minute sequence out in the desert somewhere. Stop that. Like, get out of here with this stuff, right? Yeah. Where are we at? Well, yeah, we're in James Gunn headlines. Sorry, guys. I just there's so much stuff that's coming out of Avatar, like, makes you think about the movies that are out in the theaters right now. James Gunn confirms the extent of Batman's role in the new DCU. Well, we knew that. This is not a real picture of Batman, by the way. This is a Photoshop here of Michael Keaton. So we know that Michael Keaton is going to be in the Flash movie. We know that Ben Affleck's going to have like a small cameo, but this will close off these versions of Batman. We're not going with an older age Batman anymore, which, okay. I'm slowly getting over it, guys. I slowly am. But it's potentially that perhaps maybe Ben Affleck may be directing a Batman movie. That would be kind of cool. That will be cool. The role of Batman will play in the franchise's new slate. Gunn and the producer officially took to the reins. Yeah, we know about that. Get to it, man. Get to it. While some early reports suggested that Gunn and Safran were potentially considering Robert Pattinson's Batman in the DC new continuity, those claims were later debunked by Gunn himself. So yeah, so it's not going to be Robert Pattinson. Those will continue to exist separately from the events of the main DCU. Well, hey, if that can exist separately, why can't Shazam and Black Adam exist separately? Gunn, why can't they exist separately? And then, yes, you could have Superman fight them, because they can exist in a totally different world. Why not? You know why? Because cheddar. Those movies just didn't make money. I get that. It just sucks. All right. And you know, we were supposed to be getting Shazam! Fury of the Gods now, here at Christmas. We were supposed to get that movie. We're not going to get it. So is Batman going to be a big part of the DCU going forward? Someone asked. Is he going to be kept for Matt Reeves only? He is a big part of the DCU. So he is. So we are going to get another Batman. And I'm guessing that he would be around the 20-ish age range. Because if the Superman's going to be in his 20s, Batman and Wonder Woman should be around that same age too. And I would love for them to get to that storyline of Superman and Wonder Woman having a fling. That's what I would like to see. And bring us Supergirl too. I want to see that. I want to see it all. If you're going to go all the way with it, Gunn, I want to see Supergirl for sure. And I guess we'll get another Batman. A new Batman. Yeah. All right. We've talked about that in length. And finally, Aquaman. Is that on the headlines here too? Yeah. Aquaman 2 budget. To wrap up the DC headlines, sort of. Aquaman 2 reshoot budget was reduced. So, yeah, that almost kind of confirms that then, yes, this will be Jason Momoa's final outing as Aquaman, which sucks for James Wan, because he was using this as kind of like a testing ground of ideas. Like, he was having fun playing in this playground. James Wan, I'm sure they'll still keep him around and ask him to do other future DC projects. It's just this iteration, guys, they got to make that clear distinction that the Snyderverse is dead, that it's gone. And we have to come to terms with it, as much as it sucks, that you want to pull your hair out. Hey, it sounds like he could be Lobo. Okay, fine. Fine. But yeah, the reshoots apparently, yeah, because Aquaman became a $1 billion hit, but they wanted to go and reshoot a whole bunch of stuff, and it's kind of like, nah. Pam Adby said, had to tell Aquaman 2 director James Wan to reduce his reshoot budget, which was reportedly expanded to $205 million. See, why do these movies have to cost that much? Why? If it's for visual effects, I can understand it, but from some of the things that I see about, like, as I said, the trailer cities, they got to go. Just set up and shoot. Like, the B versus S was so grotesque with that. You know that small little sequence in the beginning of B versus S, where they go to a part of Mexico and Jimmy Olsen gets shot? That whole sequence that was maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes at most in the film, they set up these huge trailer cities for that, for a 3-minute sequence. It's got to stop, man. That has to stop. And that happens with like Aquaman too. It's just, no, it's got to stop. That kind of filmmaking, no. Incorporate them into the new DC. No, it's not going to happen. Yeah, so expect this will be the final outing for this version of Aquaman. Because it kind of sucks, because he was just getting off on his own. But we got to say goodbye, because the production budget being shrunk for the reshoots definitely is an indicator to us that they want to shrink everything on that for sure. So there you go. And talking about Superman, we've talked about Superman moving on all week. Henry Cavill, he's moving on to Warhammer. Cool. Yeah. Henry Cavill's Flash movie cameo and salary details were reportedly revealed. Oh, sorry. We got to talk about this before the Warhammer story. God, he looks good in that costume. Damn. It's always going to kick me in the pants when I see that. Right in the groin. Right in the junk, I'm going to see. I was like, God, the things that could have been. Okay, so, however, according to the scene, which would have seen him appear as Clark Kent, now has been deleted. Cavill also reportedly paid $250,000 for each of his DCU cameos that he filmed this year. He paid out of his own pocket those cameos? That sucks. That doubly sucks for him then. Because he was told that he was going to come back. And then, yeah, we've been through this, James. He was told that he was going to come back, so he starts to invest back into it, and then James Gunn puts him on the side. I still don't know why we can't have Black Adam and Shazam exist in their own world with the Henry Cavill Superman. I still don't know why we can't. We'll understand that it's not tied to the same universe, just the way that we understand that Robert Pattinson's Batman exists in its own universe. The same way we understand that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is a different universe. We'll understand it, James Gunn. Maybe it's because they don't want it to overshine. But if the box office numbers aren't good there, then why are they worried about it possibly overshining? Right? Make it for a small amount. Anyway, the Flash movie may not use Henry Cavill's cameo. Well, that sucks. No, they should. Because that'll be the final iteration of it, right? The final version of it. Cavill got paid $250K for the cameo in Black Adam, and another $250K for a now deleted scene in The Flash. Okay. There you go. End of an era. For now. You know what's going to happen in the future? You know when... Because there's nothing that to say that like, whatever happens with this 10-year plan, it'll come, it'll go. And then, like, 20 years from now, they'll be, like, looking for another Superman. The AI technology will be so good, they'll be able to use Henry Cavill's face. And Henry Cavill will say, yeah, you can use my voice, too. And that will be our Superman. He'll always be our Superman. All right, let's. It's like a radio station in my head. Once I go down this path, it'll be kind of like, I'm going to try to switch the channel up and talk about positive Henry Cavill news. A. Weaver says, let it go, James. You're living in the past. It's been like a whole day. Geez. Yeah. Okay, but positive news about Henry Cavill. He's moving on to Warhammer. Cool. Henry Cavill's next play is Warhammer 4000. Series on Amazon. Well, we knew that he's a gamer, right? He likes to play role-playing games as well. He was on the Graham Norton show talking about this, right? That he was into Warhammer, that he likes to paint these things and stuff like that. Now, I've never played Warhammer, but it sounds like that's cool. Yeah, like he's going to be like a space marine or something like in this. What the heck is this all about? The actor. Okay, so he. He's attached to star in and executive produce a series adaptation of Warhammer 40,000, the popular science fiction fantasy miniature war game for Amazon. Okay, well, we're watching Amazon stuff right now. Amazon is in final talks for the rights of the game produced by Games Workshop after months of negotiations. Blah, 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 blah. Just tell me where Cavill is coming into it. No writers or showrunners are attached, although Vertigo Entertainment is attached to also executive produce. Warhammer is akin to Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, yeah. So it's like you got the pieces, you got kind of like a basic lore about the types of people in it, the types of characters that play it, but then you can make up the story in the campaign as you want it to, right? Cavill is known to be a Warhammer fan. Yes, he's one of us guys. He paints figures. He's a sweaty. Because the project is in such early stages, to reiterate, Amazon has yet to close the deal. This is not the next gig for Cavill. No, it's not, because he's going to be in the Highlander reboot, which I'm looking forward to for sure. The making of another Halloween movie called Halloween Season of the Boogeyman 2024, and it's in production. Chris Schober says, well, I don't know about that. We'll take a look for that in just a moment, once we're done this story. A. Weaver says, I would definitely play Warhammer with Henry Cavill, for sure. Lots of people would love to play Warhammer. And he plays World of Warcraft, too. God, they got, like, he would be an awesome Arthas. People have made fan art of him as Arthas. If you don't play World of Warcraft, guys, he was kind of like their big bad guy, the Lich King. Let's see if I can pull that up. Some fan art. Let's see if I can pull up that. Because he sort of looks like Geralt, right? Yeah, there it is. Some fan art there of him as the Lich King. Yeah, I wish they could do something like that too. They need to press those buttons. They definitely do. Because the Lich King, that storyline, it's kind of like a guy who falls from grace, but it's misunderstood. In the Warcraft movies, he plays that too. He plays Warcraft. I think he plays Horde though. He plays Horde, right? I don't know. I play Alliance. A. Weaver says, I don't mean how, but he could teach me, to play Warhammer. I would be interested to play some Warhammer for sure. But you have to start collecting some of those pieces, right? To start playing, I think. I'm sure I'd probably find some kind of group around town here to get into that. Maybe, I'll reach out to a friend of mine who plays D&D, see if he's got a Warhammer thing going on. But that's cool. A series like that coming down the works, I'll keep my eye on that for sure. He's going to land on his feet. He's going to be fine. Everybody who ever works with him says that he's a good guy to work with, that he always gets along and stuff like that. He comes prepared, and it looks like he goes over the top too, to even pay some of his own money to do some stuff. So that's cool. That's cool, man. Henry Cavill, Warhammer. All right, so let's take a look at this line here from Chris Schober that's saying that there's a new Halloween movie. Well, with who? Because Blumhouse, the iteration we just saw, they only had a contract for 3 movies, and it was done. New Halloween 2024. Let's see if we can substantiate or corroborate this claim. Halloween, the season of the Boogeyman. Okay, so it is up on the IMDb. Now, this could be just a fan thing. I haven't heard about it. So usually this kind of stuff comes down the works, and I'll hear through the grapevine that something like this will happen. Michael Myers returned to kill again. So they even got writers and stars? Who's the production company? Guys, I think this might just be a fan film. Yeah, this is a fan film. That's what this is. So this is like how we're getting that Freddy, the fan film coming up about one of the kids that grew up and faces Freddy again. It's like that. Actually, I'll save that. And we'll talk about it on tomorrow's show on the Horror Weekly Roundup. Thank you for calling that and bringing that to my attention. Just so we can get a little bit of clarity out there, We want to get our story straight. All right, what's next? Twister 2. Yeah, guys, we got a director, or maybe, hopefully. Twister 2 is in talks with Minari Lee Isaac Chung to direct. Okay, well, yeah, you heard that they were trying to get a Twister 2 off the ground here. Oh, come on, James. And that maybe, was it Helen Hunt could possibly come back for it. Okay, I'm kind of on board with it. It would be like her daughter picks up the mantle, right? To try to figure out more tornado stuff. Hey, I had fun with Twister. I really did. But Minari, that was that movie with Stephen Wen, right? That won a bunch of awards. Didn't it win an Oscar? I know it was nominated, right? Minari. And he was nominated for his performance in it, right? You guys remember this film yet? Cool. So that director would be in talks for a Twister 2. Why not? Why not? Because that's about family, and if you can ground Twister in like a family dynamic like that, there could be some powerful scenes brought out there too, right? Because if you got a good director like who's good at handling that material, that kind of material, and have a kind of a fun romp with some, well, not fun, but kind of like a thriller of some tornado. Imagine what the visual effects now could make that look like. Wow. And if it was in 3D, if it was shot in 3D too, I want to feel scared that there's an actual real tornado ahead on top of me. Bring it, man. Bring it. That's what I want to see. Twister 2, Minari's Lee Isaac Chung is in talks. So that's probably maybe get confirmed. And we'll replace Joseph Kosinski. Ground Twister? Haha. Ground Twister. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. All right. Cool. Where are we at? 11:52. Ooh, we're almost done here, guys. Just a quick little story. Sofia Coppola, one of my... Well, yeah, I like her as a director. Daughter of Francis Ford Coppola, Sofia Coppola, is going to be making a movie called Priscilla. We got our first image here. Hey, I hit pause on this. So here's our first image. It's kind of like a silhouette image. Yeah, we're getting another Elvis movie by Sofia Coppola. Jacob Elordi and Kaylee Spaney as Elvis and Priscilla Presley. Kaylee Spaney, let's pull her up. What does she look like? Okay. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on here. She was in The Craft Legacy. So she's playing the young Priscilla, and she was in the talks for an upcoming new Alien film, right? Ooh, James, that's cool. She's good. She's a good actress. That's cool. Now we got our first image. She's definitely shorter. We just kind of saw this subject matter in the Elvis movie with Austin Butler, that the relationship was strained because he was going down the drug route and stuff like that. Okay, if they're going to show it from a different angle a little bit, Kaylee Spaney. Cool. And who's this guy that plays Elvis? Jacob Elordi. Do we know who he is? Do we know what other projects that he was in? Okay, so that's kind of a dunce kind of thing. Okay, so he's playing Elvis? Actually, how old is this guy? 25 years old. You guys see a little bit of maybe Bruce Wayne-ish? Oh. Or do you see Superman? Do I see a Superman jawline in this? Maybe. Could this guy be our new Superman? Possibly. I'm always looking out for this now. I'm going to be on the hunt. I could have done without that, James. Didn't need to see him in his gitch, in his tighty whities. Yeah. He's got the jawline for sure. It's possible. Okay. So he's going to be Elvis in this Elvis movie. But, yeah. Now that we need new actors for the DCU lineup, I'm looking for people that could fit the bill in the 20 years range. That could be a Superman, but it looks like he could also be a Bruce Wayne too, right? I'm always going to keep my eye out for this. I love playing that game of who could be the new Superman, who could be the next Batman. I love those stories. So if you guys got ideas too, by all means, bring it forward. He'd have to put on a little bit more mass here in the shoulders, but whatever. They could augment that. They did it to Henry Cavill, but whatever. He's going to be Elvis. There's our first look. The silhouette shot. Cool, man. All right, guys, what's next? This is kind of a bummer thing. I don't really want to talk about it, so we'll gloss over it. This should be a hit or miss. Twitter fallout. The Elon Musk saga continues. He abruptly suspends journalists who covered him in a negative way. Guys, I know the arguments. Twitter it's a privately owned company. He can do whatever he wants with it. Fine. Let him do whatever he wants with it. Doesn't mean that I have to participate in it. No, it doesn't. We, on the channel here, we always did the Twitter Roundup at the ends of the show because it was a good place for us to find information. But for somebody who talks about free speech, it does impact us here on the channel. So I'm keeping my eye on it, and this was on deadline, so it does come across our desks, right? As entertainment, movie news headlines fans. And Elon Musk, if you like him, fine. If you don't like him, guys, I've made the announcement on my Facebooks that I'm going to slowly start moving away from Twitter. Just because of reasons like this. I'm just going to one day just up and start deleting it. I'm not going to follow it anymore. I'm still going to use it for finding some things out. But moving forward, we're going to change it to the Reddit Roundup instead of the Twitter Roundup, because there are some good subreddits out there that we could follow for some trending movie news stuff. It's usually the same. And I stopped doing the Twitter and the Reddit at the same time because it was just being a little bit redundant. So it's a good place to go. And it's the same kind of thing. And people post things as they just find it out on the Reddit. So we'll be, for the next week or so, next couple of weeks, we'll be doing the Reddit Roundup instead of the Twitter Roundup, and we'll slowly start the migration to get away from the old Twitterverse there. Sad to see, but definitely. Oh, E. Weaver says, I need to see him in glasses. Who? This Elordi guy, Jacob Elordi, see him with glasses? Let's see if we can find a picture of him with glasses. See if we can pull that up there, James. Jacob Elordi with glasses. There you go. There he is. Oh, man. Yeah. Now, you're telling me that that's not Clark Kent? You're telling me that that's not a Clark Kent? Wow. Guys, I think we found him. Wow. Holy crap. Yeah. That would be my shoe-in right there, guys, for our new Superman. Right now, as of now. I haven't seen him act. So I don't know. He could be a terrible actor. But, whatever. Yeah. He looks like he could get a little bit, put on a little bit more mass there in the shoulders. He's definitely got the pipes for it. Yeah. Works for me. Yeah. I could see it. I just hope he's got the acting chops. He's definitely a top contender. I think we found it, guys. It's possible. Yeah. There you go. I don't know anything about him. Let's take a look at his IMDb. I don't know anything about this guy. Hey, this is what we like to do here. It's a lot of fun, right? A lot of fun. Okay. Let's take a look at his Australian actor. He's known for his roles as Noah Flynn in Netflix's Kissing Booth film franchise with Joey King. I need to watch this Kissing Booth films then. Okay. See if he's got the chops. I'll check it out. We'll gloss over it. Maybe. Yeah. Because they want that 20-something Superman. Possible. Deep Water. Oh, I did see Deep Water. No, I didn't see Deep Water. That's okay. Euphoria. He's been in Euphoria. 17 episodes of Euphoria. Okay. So, good. Bad Dream, Kissing Booth, Swinging Safari. Okay. Fascinating. Possible. Possible. We'll all see. All right, guys, let's go to the Reddit roundup and we'll see what's trending out there. Maybe we missed something. Maybe we didn't. It's a 24-hour news cycle. Let's see if this works just as the same. Henry Cavill's Warhammer film or series. We know that. The teaser for Barbie. We talked about that. What's the most disappointing movie of 2022? Don't Worry, Darling. Ooh, that's a good question. What is the most disappointing movie of 2022? This is why I kind of like the, for me, Men. Well, I didn't have, well, it's Alex Garland, and yeah, Men was not that good. Oddly enough, I would have to say Halloween Ends was fairly disappointing for a lot of people. Halloween Ends was definitely kind of like, ugh, what the heck is this movie? Right? A new Barbie poster. Cool. Movie lines that still, okay, so we're just looking for trending stuff here, James. RR&R, still wrapping up some Americans Are the Bad Guys. Okay. Creed 3 has a new poster out. Cool. Talking about Jonathan Majors, looking forward to that. New Creed 3. Who do you think will be? Yeah, and Cavill can move on to Bond. We talked about that the other day, too. Yeah, if I were Barbara Broccoli, I would be getting on board with Cavill as Bond. Our Glass Viking says Bubble was the worst by far. Well, I think that question was most disappointing. Were we expecting much from the Bubble? We had fun with the trailer, Karen Gillan, but they had a weird marketing for the Bubble. Most, like, Bubble is going to be on the worst movies of the year. Probably the worst movie of the year. Heat. Let's see. I don't see anything trending here, too. All right. Guys, oh, yeah, the trailer for A Good Person came out yesterday, too, right? With Florence Pugh and Morgan Freeman. I saw that trailer, so, yeah, it was good. Florence Pugh. I liked her in Don't Worry, Darling, actually. I wouldn't say that Don't Worry, Darling was a disappointing film either. Hey, if you like that kind of abstract storytelling of kind of like Outer Limits kind of stuff that we're sort of seeing like in The Peripheral, then you'll definitely like Don't Worry, Darling. What are your perfect movie casting ideas? Well, that's kind of far out there. Wedding Singer, The Price We Pay, Emile Hirsch and Stephen Dorff. Official poster. Never even heard of this movie. Emile Hirsch. What happened to him? He's a good actor. He just kind of went to the wayside. Maybe he's difficult to work with. I don't know. That sucks. What is your favorite movie that ends with a cliffhanger? Well, obviously, The Empire Strikes Back. Cliffhanger was Infinity War. All right, guys. Yeah, that's pretty much the week that it's been. Halloween Ends was the definition of disappointing, though there were things I liked about it. Yeah, see, and here's the thing about Halloween Ends too. Well, I found it disappointing. I didn't like the film. It's not going to end up on the worst films of the year for me. Halloween Ends. It's not. But yeah, moving forward, we're going to try out the Reddit roundup because I'll still keep my eye on the film updates, Twitter stuff, maybe. But they've been just posting a bunch of award season stuff. And they, as you can see here, this just proves my point. The Twitter roundup and the Reddit roundup, we see the same stuff here, right? It's redundant. So we'll be keeping with the Reddit roundup moving forward, for sure. Yeah. And let's end with this image because that's what I saw last night. I'm going to put the old heart on that. There you go. Emile was once upon a time in Hollywood, but it was a small role, right? Hirsch. Emile was great Into the Wild. Yeah, Into the Wild was a fantastic film. That ending shot was so haunting. I think we went through a scandal or two. Did he? I also liked him in Autopsy of Jane Doe. He was good in that too. And wasn't he in Lone Survivor as well? He's a good performer. Sucks. Maybe he was stuck in controversy. Barbie. Maybe this will be my new desktop. Does it replace my Harley Quinn desktop? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to go have my breakfast and then pay attention later on today. In just under an hour there, we'll be watching, we'll be watching Moonfall, a disaster movie. End of days kind of scenario. Roland Emmerich, guys. I need to check it off my list of movies that I need to see this year so I can put together a respectable best and worst of movie list of the year. That's just around the corner, guys. We're like only 15 days left in this year. Unbelievable. This month is blowing by so fast. All right, guys. I'll see you next week for more movie news, and join us later for Moonfall, tomorrow for the Horror Weekly Roundup. Later on today, we'll be doing the Avatar spoiler review. Avatar spoiler review will be up later on tonight. Pay attention for that. We'll go over parts of the story and stuff like that. And if not, hit the thumbs up button, guys. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. Really cool chatting with you guys. Really cool. Awesome. Doesn't Barbie warm your cockles? I learned that from Gordon Ramsay.